Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the first episode of Outer Banks Season 3. If you're a show fan like me, then you know that this season has been highly anticipated. So, let's dive right into the first episode and see what the Pogas have been up to. We'll start with a little review to help you remember what's going on. If you have watched the previous season, you know this series is about the battle between the rich and poor. Or you can say Coos versus Pogas. The series opens right where the last one ended, with the gang stranded on Pogalandia. Over a month has passed since their arrival, and JJ has finally designed the flag of Pogalandia, as he had promised on their first night featuring the croc-wearing chicken. To break up their monotony of eating nothing but coconuts, JJ and Key decide to go fishing. Kiara has learned to catch fish thanks to him, and the two of them share a celebratory hug whenever she does so. You can tell it's more than a casual hug if you've been following the show for a long time. Sarah sees what she thinks is a boat on the horizon. She starts to worry that her terrible father has sent someone after them, but it could just be an illusion. One evening, the group plays Truth or Dare and discusses how much they enjoy their new life together. To end off their first day in paradise, JJ decides to take a dare and jump from a cliff. A jet roars outside, awakening the gang the next day. Pope, Jonathan Davis, is the first to rise from his sleep to attract the pilot's attention. Everyone else, besides JJ, yells and waves at the plane as it takes off. It appears they are eager to leave the island after all. After spotting the Pogas, the pilot makes an emergency landing to bring them back from the edge of heaven. The pilot, Jimmy, offers them booze and first aid, and Sarah isn't convinced she can trust him. They board the jet, doubtful of their savior's motives, but aware they have nowhere else to go. After leaving the Outer Banks with the gold, the Cameron family relocates to Guadalupe. Ward is in a coma due to his injuries during the Season 2 finale fight with the Pogas. The stolen gold is kept in a safe in their home, and Rafe is aggressively hunting for the cross of Santo Domingo. Sarah has reason to believe that the pilot, named Jimmy, is working for Ward and should be treated with suspicion. John B. calms her nerves. Viewers like me knows that the pilot is lying about his intentions. While JJ investigates, Jimmy is distracted by John B's meaningless chatter. On their trip back to civilization, the kids search through his suitcase. They find a photo of the massive ship they escaped from at the end of Season 2 and a book about El Dorado. Jimmy has apparently been looking for them for a while. The group discusses their next move as the plane touches down in Barbados. Though JJ would prefer that Pope land the plane, they decide on the more conservative approach. It doesn't matter since Jimmy loses control of the jet when he catches a glimpse of JJ rummaging through his backpack. Upon learning of their plan, Jimmy becomes furious and attempts to stop them. After losing control of the plane during the struggle, he makes an emergency landing in the shallow ocean near Barbados. The plane began to fill with water, so they had to evacuate quickly. Key returns to the cockpit after realizing Jimmy has passed out there. After swimming away, the others hide behind a bridge while Key takes Jimmy safely on shore. Kia saves Jimmy from the accident, separates from the rest of the group, and is finally abducted by the unknown men. Kiara demands to know who hired Jimmy. He can only tell her to follow their orders, so she will likely avoid harm. As she and Jimmy are taken by several muscular guys, John B. and the rest of the Pogas look on miserably. These guards may look and sound like police officers, but you shouldn't put your trust in them. Then we meet Rafe. He has located the cross. He is on his way to meet a mystery Frenchman named Michel Arnaud, who claims to have a buyer interested in the cross, but reveals little further about him at the time of their meeting. Kiara is abducted back to the Caribbean and transported to Vauxhall, where she is sure Ward and the Camerons are to blame for her kidnap. JJ shows off Jimmy's wallet, which he stole earlier, while the gang tries to decide their next move. They immediately set off toward Jimmy's house. Shortly after, Jimmy returns, and the others immediately surround him, pinning him to the ground and demanding explanations. Pope uncovers Jimmy's payment in an envelope. Vauxhall is imprinted on the envelope. Jimmy warns them not to come, but the group insists on looking for him. They leave with Jimmy's money and some new clothes. The noise has the neighbors wondering what's going on. Jimmy appears to be in some dangerous circumstances himself. As they look for Vauxhall, the gang stops a tractor driver for directions. He claims that Carlos Singh owns the vast majority of this area. They're on their way to his house. The group impulsively decides to jump the fortress walls. Soon alarm starts ringing. Guards in trucks and on quad bikes, accompanied by dogs trained to bite chase them. All of the escape just in time to avoid being eaten by the dogs. This calls for the gang to refocus and develop a new strategy. A large number of armed guards lead Kiara to a beautiful complex. She soon learns that it wasn't the Camerons who kidnapped her, but the unknown cross-buyer who abducted her. Oh, and Rafe is there, too, because he's ready to sell the cross. She is imprisoned in a room and ordered to be dressed for dinner at 8. She has 3 stylish red gowns in her closet with the instruction, choose your size. Thus, she complies to the demands of her kidnapper and descends to meet her kidnapper. But instead encounters Rafe Cameron. He hopes to find a market for the gold cross he brought with him. Here we meet Carlos Singh, the puppet master for both of them. Announcing that he is on the trail of the greatest quest in the history of the Western Hemisphere, he believes Rafe or the Pogas possess Denmark Tanny's diary. He claims that they will be able to leave once Singh has custody of it. But he confines them to a room until then. They are attempting to figure out how to escape when they see Singh murder Jimmy in the backyard downstairs. Overall, the first episode of Outer Banks Season 3 sets up a lot of interesting plotlines that I can't wait to see unfold. I'm excited to see what the Pogas will do next and how they'll navigate all of the challenges that come their way. The characters face their own challenges and struggles but remain fiercely loyal to one another. The chemistry between the Pogas is palpable, and their bonds are tested in episode 1 as they work to find their missing friends and solve the mystery of the treasure. With danger lurking around every corner, it's clear that this season of Outer Banks will be full of surprises, twists, and turns. So, what are you waiting for? Get ready for a thrilling adventure with the Pogas in Season 3 of Outer Banks. The first episode sets the stage for what promises to be an action-packed season full of twists and turns. So, if you haven't already watched the first episode, go check it out. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Outer Banks content.